Chapter 1. The Awakening of Isis. In the time before time, when the earth was young and the heavens were a tapestry of twinkling mysteries, there was a goddess whose name was whispered with reverence and awe, Isis. She was born of the gods of earth and sky, Geb and Nut, and her power was as vast as the cosmos from which she had sprung. Her essence was woven into the very fabric of existence, and her consciousness lay dormant within the primordial chaos, waiting for the moment of her awakening. The world was a place of wild beauty, untamed by the hands of gods or mortals. It was during this epoch that the divine spark within Isis stirred, and she emerged from the shadows of non-existence. Her eyes opened for the first time, reflecting the boundless universe, and as she took her first breath, the air around her shimmered with the magic that was her birthright. Isis looked upon the world with a gaze that penetrated the veils of reality. She saw the rivers as they carved their paths through the land, the mountains as they reached for the heavens, and the creatures as they danced the dance of life and death. She understood the intricate web of fate and the delicate balance of nature. But it was the plight of the mortals that drew her attention and ignited a flame of compassion in her heart. The people of the earth lived in fear and confusion, their lives a constant struggle against the forces of chaos. They yearned for guidance, for a beacon of hope in the darkness that surrounded them. Isis knew that her purpose was to be that beacon, to use her divine magic to heal and to protect, to teach and to nurture. She descended from her celestial abode, her form radiant with an ethereal light. The people marveled at her beauty and grace, sensing the benevolence that flowed from her being. She walked among them, her touch bringing solace to the afflicted, her words weaving spells of prosperity and peace. Yet, it was not only the mortals who sought the wisdom of Isis. The gods themselves were drawn to her, for her intellect was as formidable as her magic. Among them was Osiris, the god of the afterlife and renewal, whose noble spirit resonated with her own. Their love blossomed like a lotus in the Nile, pure and unyielding, and together they became the pillars upon which the civilization of Egypt would rise. But with great power comes envy and strife. Set, the god of chaos and disorder, coveted the throne that Osiris held and the affection that Isis bestowed upon her husband. In his malice, Set plotted the downfall of Osiris, seeking to shatter the harmony that the divine couple had created. The fateful day arrived when Set's treachery was revealed, and Osiris was cruelly taken from the world of the living. The land mourned, and the heavens wept, for the light of Osiris had been extinguished. But Isis, in her boundless love and wisdom, refused to succumb to despair. She embarked on a quest that would test the limits of her powers, a journey that would take her to the edges of the earth and beyond. Her resolve was unbreakable, her magic unparalleled, and she would not rest until she had outsmarted Ra himself and reclaimed her beloved from the clutches of death. Thus began the saga of Isis, the divine mother, whose story is etched in the stars and whispered by the winds. Her awakening was but the first chapter in a tale of love, loss, and triumph, a tale that would echo through the ages and inspire the hearts of all who heard it. Chapter 2. The Quest for Osiris. In the wake of Osiris's demise, the world seemed to hold its breath, the very air thick with sorrow and uncertainty. The Nile's flow hesitated, and the desert stood silent, as if mourning the loss of the great god. But in the heart of Isis, the embers of hope were kindled, fanned by the winds of her indomitable spirit. She would not allow the darkness of Set's deed to extinguish the light of Osiris forever. Clad in garments of mourning, Isis set forth on her solemn quest. She traversed the land of Egypt, her feet leaving trails of verdant life in the barren sands. Each step was a testament to her resolve, each breath a spell cast against the encroaching despair. She sought whispers of her husband's fate, clues to the whereabouts of his remains, for she knew that if she could find them, her magic could breathe life into the lifeless. Her journey led her to the wise and ancient beings that dwelled in hidden corners of the world. She conversed with the stone guardians of the mountains, whose memories stretched back to the world's creation. She listened to the songs of the river spirits, their melodies carrying secrets from the depths of the waters. And she sought counsel from the oldest of trees, whose roots delved deep into the earth's mysteries. Through her divine intuition and the knowledge gleaned from these encounters, Isis discovered the treachery that had befallen Osiris. Set, in his jealousy, had tricked Osiris into lying within an ornate chest, which he then sealed and cast into the Nile. The chest had been carried by the river's embrace to the shores of a distant land, where it became entangled in the roots of a magnificent tamarisk tree. Guided by the stars and her unwavering love, Isis journeyed to the land of Byblus, where the tamarisk tree had ensnared the chest in its embrace. The tree, having absorbed the essence of Osiris, had grown into a pillar of such beauty that the local king had incorporated it into his palace. Disguising herself as a mortal woman, Isis entered the service of the queen of Byblus. Her kindness and wisdom quickly endeared her to the royal family, and as she cared for the queen's children, she imbued them with her blessings, ensuring their prosperity and health. In time, her true identity could no longer be concealed, for the magic that flowed from her being was too great to be hidden. The king and queen, recognizing the divine presence before them, offered her anything she desired. Isis requested only the pillar that contained her husband's body, and with a heavy heart, the king complied. Isis, with the chest now in her possession, retreated to the seclusion of the marshlands. There, under the silver light of the moon, she performed a rite of such power that the fabric of reality trembled. She summoned the breath of life and the essence of resurrection, weaving them into a spell that transcended the boundaries between life and death. As the incantations flowed from her lips, the chest began to glow with an otherworldly light. The air hummed with energy, and the spirits of the earth gathered to witness the miracle that was about to unfold. With a final heartfelt plea, Isis completed the spell, and the chest burst open. Osiris, whole once more but still ensnared in the realm of death, opened his eyes to gaze upon his beloved. Their reunion was bittersweet, for Isis knew that he could not remain in the land of the living. Yet, in that moment, their love was a beacon that pierced the shadows, a promise that even in the darkest of times, hope would endure. The quest for Osiris was complete, but the tale of Isis was far from over. Her magic had defied the immutable laws of existence, and the repercussions of her actions would ripple through the ages. The Divine Mother had proven her power, but the path ahead was fraught with challenges that would test the very limits of her strength and wisdom. And so, the saga continued. Chapter 3: The Confrontation with Ra. The resurrection of Osiris had sent tremors through the heavens, for such an act of magic was unprecedented. The gods watched in awe and fear, for they knew that the balance of the cosmos had been altered by Isis's will. Among them, Ra, the sun god and king of the gods, felt the fabric of his authority challenged by the power Isis had displayed. Ra, ancient and wise, whose golden chariot brought forth the dawn and whose eye commanded the day, summoned Isis to his celestial court. The skies parted as she ascended, her figure a silhouette against the blinding light of the sun's domain. Isis, Divine Mother, your deeds have not gone unnoticed, Ra spoke, his voice echoing like thunder. You have breached the veil between life and death, a domain that even the gods approach with trepidation. Tell me, why have you defied the natural order? Isis, unflinching before the might of Ra, replied with the serenity of the moon. Great Ra, my actions were born of love and necessity. Osiris was wronged, and the world suffered for his absence. I sought to restore what was unjustly taken, to heal the wounds inflicted by Set's malice. Ra's gaze, as piercing as the midday sun, bore into her. Your intentions may be pure, Isis, but the consequences of your magic are far-reaching. The boundaries between life and death are sacred, and to cross them is to invite chaos into the world. Isis stood tall, her eyes reflecting the resolve that had carried her through her trials. With all due respect, mighty Ra, it is Set's chaos that I have opposed. If we, as gods, do not act against injustice, then what hope do mortals have? My love for Osiris and for the people of Egypt compelled me to act, and I would do so again. A silence fell upon the court, the other gods looking on with bated breath. Ra, whose wisdom had guided the cosmos since the dawn of creation, contemplated the words of Isis. He could not deny her devotion, nor could he ignore the ripples of change that her actions had set in motion. Isis, your magic has indeed altered the course of destiny, Ra finally declared. But it is also this same magic that has protected our creation from the encroaching darkness. Your heart has proven to be as strong as your spells, and it is clear that your love for Osiris is a force that even death cannot quell. The sun god paused, the light of his court softening. However, the order must be maintained. Osiris shall not return to the land of the living, but he will be granted dominion over the afterlife, where he shall reign as king and judge of the dead. In this way, balance shall be preserved. Isis bowed her head in acceptance, understanding the necessity of compromise. I thank you, Ra, for your wisdom and your mercy. Osiris will be honored to serve in the afterlife, and I shall stand by him, guiding the souls of the departed to his realm. Ra nodded, and with a wave of his hand, the audience was concluded. Isis descended back to the earth, her heart heavy with the knowledge that Osiris would be forever beyond her reach in life, yet comforted by the fact that his legacy would endure. The confrontation with Ra had solidified Isis's role as a protector and a beacon of hope. Her love had transcended the impossible, and her magic had proven strong enough to bend the will of the gods. The Divine Mother had faced the sun and emerged with the blessings of the heavens, her saga a testament to the enduring power of love and the magic that resides within the heart. And as the sun set on the horizon, casting a golden glow over the land of Egypt, the people whispered prayers of gratitude to Isis, their guardian and guide through the mysteries of life and death. The story of the Divine Mother would be told for generations to come, a tale of courage, sacrifice, and the magic that binds the world together. Chapter 4. The Resurrection of Osiris. The land of Egypt rejoiced, for the return of Osiris, even to the realm of the dead, promised a new era of balance and justice. The people felt the gentle touch of Isis's magic in the air, a soothing balm that healed the scars left by Set's treachery. Yet, for Isis, the journey was not yet complete. Her heart yearned for Osiris, and she knew that her magic had the power to bridge the chasm between the worlds of the living and the dead. Under the silver glow of the moon, Isis retreated to the sacred temple hidden within the folds of the Nile's lush delta. There, surrounded by the whispers of her ancestors and the spirits of the earth, she prepared for the most profound act of her divine magic, the true resurrection of Osiris. She called upon the elements, the wind, the water, the fire, and the earth, to lend their energies to her spell. She invoked the ancient words of power, her voice a melody that resonated with the very heartbeat of creation. The temple walls vibrated with the force of her incantations, and the barrier between the worlds grew thin. In the realm of the afterlife, Osiris felt the call of his beloved. The darkness that shrouded his kingdom flickered with specks of light, heralding the arrival of a dawn that had never before been seen in the land of the dead. He rose from his throne, his form now radiant with a life that defied the laws of his domain. Back in the temple, Isis's spell reached its crescendo. She summoned the essence of Osiris, her love acting as a beacon that guided him through the veils of existence. The air crackled with power, and a portal shimmered into being, a gateway that connected the world of the living with the afterlife. Through the portal, Osiris stepped forth, his presence a testament to the unwavering determination of Isis. The Divine Mother embraced her husband, their reunion a confluence of celestial magic and mortal emotion. The temple was bathed in a light that transcended the physical spectrum, and for a moment, time itself stood still. The resurrection of Osiris was complete, but it was not a return to the life he once knew. He was now a being of both worlds, bound to the afterlife yet able to walk among the living as a god of resurrection and fertility. His presence would ensure the cycle of life and death continued in harmony, and his wisdom would guide the souls of the departed on their journey to the beyond. Isis's triumph was celebrated throughout Egypt, her name exalted in songs and stories. The people built temples in her honor, and her likeness was etched into the very stones of the land. She had defied the impossible, and in doing so, had secured her place as one of the most revered deities in the pantheon of gods. Yet, the saga of Isis and Osiris was not without its shadows. Set, ever watchful and vengeful, plotted in the darkness, his schemes a constant threat to the order that had been restored. The Divine Mother knew that her magic would be needed to protect the world from the chaos that lurked in the heart of her adversary. The resurrection of Osiris was a beacon of hope, a symbol of the enduring cycle of life, death, and rebirth. And as the Divine Mother watched over her people, she knew that her story, and the magic it held, would be a guiding light for all eternity. The tale of Isis and Osiris, a story of love conquering the greatest of obstacles, would be passed down through the ages, a legacy of the magic of the Divine Mother. In the golden sands of Egypt, where the Nile kisses the earth, the legacy of Isis, the Divine Mother, blossomed like a lotus at dawn. Her story, woven into the fabric of the world, became a tapestry of hope, courage, and the boundless power of love. As the guardian of magic and healing, her essence infused the land with prosperity and wisdom, guiding the people through the cycles of life with a gentle hand. In every whisper of the wind, in the murmur of the river, her presence was felt, eternal and nurturing. Mothers taught their children of her compassion, lovers found solace in her devotion, and the weary found strength in her enduring spirit. The Divine Mother, whose love had transcended the veil of death, became an immortal beacon, her magic a shield against the darkness, her name a sacred incantation that promised rebirth and renewal for all time. And so, Isis, the goddess of 1,000 names, remained forever in the hearts of those she protected, her saga a celestial lullaby that soothed the soul of the world. Her legacy, as enduring as the stars, whispered a truth known to all, that within each of us lies the magic of the Divine Mother, a force that can overcome any trial, a light that never fades.